I don't know why I keep getting so close to the camera. Like the mic is here, so I don't know what I'm doing. But hey, y'all, welcome back. Thank you for stopping by my little corner of the interweb. My name is Lamaria Aminah. Most people just call me Mar or Marz, so whatever you prefer. And y'all seen the title. You know that it's been a long, tough week, but I'm feeling so much better. I am currently in Dar es Salaam. We're here to get to go to the U.S. Embassy, which we spent like 2 hours there today. But that's not what this video is about. I just wanted to hop on real quick because I realized I never gave a proper introduction. I filmed this video over multiple days, and I've just been in a roller coaster of emotions, obviously, and I just wanted to warn y'all, my energy is pretty low, and I look pretty sad and stressed out, and I was gonna refilm it, but I figured it'd be better to, leave it unfiltered, leave it uncut, and kind of just show the reality of what this experience has been like. So if you are not interested in my sad story, then skip here. I'll put a timestamp here. And you can skip here for the 10 tips, 10 safety tips for living abroad. But yeah, if you're interested, then just keep on watching. And also, guys, thank you so much for all the support and love. This community is growing so fast, especially in the last week. It's really picked up. So I'd love to know who you are. Let me know in the comments below. Who are you? Where are you living? Where do you hope to live? Just introduce yourself. And yeah. Enjoy this video. You guys, this has been the longest, hardest week in the 9 months we've been on the road. I'm so tired. I spent about 4 hours today at the police station. And yeah, that has been pretty much my week. We got robbed. Someone broke into our apartment 5 days ago on Monday, so today's Saturday. So Monday night, early Tuesday morning, somebody broke in, and it was a pretty elaborate break-in. They climbed like a 10-foot retaining wall and then proceeded to put like a super long stick through barred windows and fish our stuff out while we were sleeping inches from our bed. And thankfully they didn't get electronics. They didn't get our really expensive stuff like our MacBooks and our camera and phones. But unfortunately they did steal my partner's wallet and his passport. They did take 2 bags, which we're not too worried about the bags, but the wallet and obviously the passport has been the biggest pain in the ass. So basically the day of, we filed for a police report. They told us to come back the next day for a security clearance so that we could go to the main city of Dar. And because I guess you need a passport to get to the embassy. So they were giving us a security clearance. It ended up taking, each day we went, they told us to come back. One day was because there was no power, so they couldn't print anything. The other 3 days, I don't know what the deal was, but we finally got it today. I do want to be careful what I say, just because freedom of speech isn't a right everywhere. So just know that law enforcement here has not been on our side. They have not been on our side. That's all I can say. But yeah, today we were going back and forth between different police departments. They actually ended up taking the paper that they had given us, and it wasn't even the right paper, but then they took it back and said they're not helping us. And finally, after like 4 hours, we were able to get the paper we needed. It's been such a process, and we're supposed to wait like 10 days for the passport. So this is going to be like a 3-4 week process, which is so infuriating and is costing us so much money. And yeah, it's just been such a bummer. What's even more unfortunate is that I'm pretty sure we know who did it. It's a person that we've given money to, we've watched their kid, we've paid for the food for their child. We've been very, very generous since we've been here. And I think that's the hardest part about this whole situation is ever since we left the US, I feel like since the coronavirus started, we've been really mindful to the fact that people are struggling everywhere because of this pandemic more than people struggle, on a regular basis. And we've been really generous. Not that we have a lot of money, but I understand that I have more money than I could use today at this one moment, at this present moment, and there's other people who need help right now. And so we try to tip generously, we feed kids, we feed grown people, like we're always offering and extending ourselves. So it's such a bummer that someone took advantage of that. And I personally have never had anyone break into my house before, so I don't know, I guess I was naive. I thought that because it wasn't a like violent break-in and I was pretty much half asleep, I didn't see it happen, I thought that I'd be fine. Like I thought I was going to be pissed off, but I didn't think it would affect me, and I've had nightmares, I've had just a lot of trouble sleeping. I feel like I can't trust anyone anymore. I'm like looking over my shoulder. I feel like this whole experience has really tainted our entire experience here, and to be honest, I'm ready to just leave. The way that we've been treated by law enforcement, the way that no one just seems like they're able to help us has really just made me not want to be here anymore, and I'm ready to move on. I'm trying to keep the perspective that more often than not, it's not about bad people, but it's about bad circumstances leading people to make bad choices. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. I'm trying to not judge the entire country based on this particular action of a certain individual or two or three, but yeah, I'm ready to go. And also, it's been a wake-up call to realize that me and my partner are like the only people that are solid, that we know we've got each other's backs. And I think that's been a really kind of hard fact to swallow, is that like much, but I know that I just keep reminding myself, like, life happens for you, not to you. Life happens for you, not to you. And it could have been way worse. We could have been harmed. More valuables could have been stolen. Literally, my bag with my $1,000 camera, my lenses were literally next, like 2 inches from the bag that was stolen. So I'm so thankful that they didn't get that. But I don't know, it's just super disheartening. And like I said, I'm just ready to go at this point. But yeah, this has all led me to reevaluate how I am moving in this world as a foreigner in a land that is unknown to me. And I figured that sharing the story and just sharing the realities, that it's not all, how are you going to react when life throws you lemons, basically. So I have compiled a list of 10 safety tips for living abroad. Tip number 1 is definitely learn from us. Never put anything near a window. I never thought of this. I didn't think I needed to think of this, but from experience, people will fish your stuff out of a window, so never put anything near your window. Tip number 2 is case the place. Even when you think it's safe, think again. I think it's really important to never put your safety in anyone else's hands. Here, we thought we were safe because there's a 10-foot retaining wall. There's night security, there's bars on the windows, so I don't know, theft didn't really cross my mind because I thought we were safe. But I really, really wish that we would have thought like criminals and
just taking extra precautions. Make sure you double check things, double check that you lock the doors, double check that you lock the windows, make sure you hide your stuff. Think like a criminal. Number 3 is sleep with your belongings. This may seem so extra, but fill up your pillowcase with your stuff. Obviously, turn off your laptop, turn off your phone. Don't sleep with, turned on electronics. But if we would have had our wallet in our pillowcase, if we would have had our passport in our pillowcase, they would have taken our bag and things that were in the bag, but it really wouldn't have been a problem. So make sure you sleep with your stuff. Number 4, I haven't done this yet, but I am definitely starting this now and will continue to do so, especially where we're traveling next, is to lie about where you're from. If you are an American, if you're from the United States, lie about where you're from. This may be controversial, but I can see firsthand from my experience that when I say I'm from the USA, when I say I'm an American, I see the way people's eyes light up, and just all of the perceptions and inferences that come from the American stereotype that we have money, we're all rich, we have everything that we could dream of. People really, really believe that that's how every American is living. So from now on, I'm from Canada. I'm a Canadian. Sorry, fellow Canadians, if this offends you, but yeah, I'm not from America anymore. Number 5, I really wish I would have put this one into play, is listening to your instincts. It's so simple, it's so basic, but your gut will not steer you wrong. And this person that I believe broke into the place, when I met him, I had a feeling that he was no good, and I really, really wish I would have just listened to that gut feeling, and maybe we wouldn't have been in this predicament. We probably would have, but I just wish that I would have listened to my gut. But going forward, I am fully accepting of this, and now if I get bad energy, if I sense that someone is off, sorry if it hurts your feelings, but stay away from me. Sorry, I'm reading from my computer. Number 6, let your family and friends know where you are at all times. When we first moved here, or moved overseas, my family and I were super cautious and active in making sure that they knew where we were at all times. They had the Airbnb host's contact information, they had the address, they had this, they had that. Now we're on the road, we've lived in so many houses, so I think we've just gotten used to it and are not being as cautious. But it's really important that your family knows where you are. My family and my friends, my best friends, my sister, my mom, my grandma, son's mom and dad all have our location on on the iPhone, so anytime they open up our name, they can see exactly where we are. But the only thing about this is that it only works when you're connected to Wi-Fi, or like the 3G, but most of the time we don't have 3G. So make sure, have some type of tracking device or something on your phone. Number 7, this one is probably one of the most important ones on the list, but make multiple copies of every single document that is important to you. This has saved our lives this week. It's also really important to put these documents in multiple places in your belongings. So make multiple copies of your passports, of your IDs, have them digitally. I sent copies to my mom, my grandma. I sent copies to son's mom and dad. I have a copy. If you're traveling with somebody, make sure you have a copy of their passport in your luggage, and vice versa. So when they stole his backpack, they took some of the copies, but we had other copies in other places in our belongings. So it's really come through. Make sure that you do this, and do this before you leave. Like, make sure you do this before you get on the plane. This one is also really important. It might be one of the most important ones on this list, is have access to your money digitally and also have access to your money in multiple ways. So an example of this is have Apple Pay, have an online banking system, or have a shared account. So for me, I have all three. I can access my money online through an app. I can access my money through Apple Pay, and I can access my money through my mom because she is on my shared bank account. So she's able to go to the bank with my permission. She's able to fill out papers with my permission. So make sure that you have one, if not all, of these things. And also key is that separate bank card. So when they first broke in, they took my wallet as well, and they ended up taking the money out and throwing my wallet and cards in a bush that we were able to recover. But when we first got our stuff stolen, I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, we don't have cards. Like, what are we gonna do? We have no access to our money. But then I remembered I had an ATM card that just has access to my savings that was in a separate, like my passport book. So this is key. And also Xavier's son, he has Apple Pay. So even though we don't have his card, he's able to transfer me money, and we still have access to his money digitally. So very, very important. Number 9 is learn the emergency number of every place you go. This can really slip your mind. It's definitely slipped my mind most places that I've gone, but I learned this in Spain a few years ago when I traveled to Spain. I was alone for like 3 weeks. I traveled to Spain alone by myself, and like the first day that I was there, a man cornered me on the beach and was like jerking off like inches from me. And it really, really freaked me out, obviously, and it really just like tainted my whole entire trip. I was so scared, but it really hit me then that I don't know the number. I don't know how to call for help. And foolish enough, I did it again, and I realized I didn't know the number. So it's really important before the emergency happens to know where the police station is, know how to call for help. Here it's not 911, it's like a 10-digit number. So make sure that you have it stored in your phone, you have easy access to these numbers, and just don't wait for the emergency to happen. Learn from me. Make sure that you can call somebody right away. And this last one is tip number 10 is remain subtle in public. Don't be outrageous. Don't flaunt yourself. Be humble. Don't take your laptop out on the ferry or on a bus. Hide your money. Make sure you're using the money belts. Make sure you're keeping money in separate places and having small bills, taking out small bills. Don't walk around with Adidas shoes and Adidas track pants and jewelry and flashy shades. Don't make yourself a target. You already are standing out, so humble yourself as much as you possibly can, just to avoid any trouble. I lost my paper. And actually I have 2 more for you guys. I said 10, but here's some bonus too. Something I learned this year is to really limit the amount of taxi drivers driving you around if you're going to use taxis. Have a designated driver or 2. Initially when we got here, we were just randomly, hey, calling taxis. So we've had 10 to 12 people drop us off. That's 10 to 12 different people who know where you live. That's not safe. So now we have 1 to 2 people that pick us up, drop us off. We ride with the same people, and I think that's really important, just to limit the amount of people knowing where you stay. And this last tip, number 12, is make sure that you make friends with the locals. I realized how important it was today for my safety. Not only do you get a better experience, not only is it respectful because you're in this land, you should definitely mingle and get to know the people of this land, but for your own safety, it's really, really crucial. We were not getting help from law enforcement until today when 2 of our friends, really amazing women who are from Tanzania, really strong, assertive women, took us to the police station and basically said we're not leaving until we receive these documents. So for your own safety, find people that you can trust. Sorry, this tripod's going all over the place. For your safety, find people that you really can trust, and don't just use them to do you favors and stuff. These are actual friends of ours, but I think it's really key. I'm telling you guys, they wouldn't give us the time of day until today, and then we got 4 hours. It took 4 hours to get 2 papers printed, just so that we could leave the island. But make friends with the locals. I think that is everything, you guys. I know my energy is a little down, obviously, you know why, but I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I hope that this just sheds some light that traveling is not always joyous, it's not always exciting, that there can be real trouble and turmoil on these travels. I'm almost done, baby. And it's just really important to keep perspective, and he's listening to me. It's just really important to just have all the different perspectives of this lifestyle. But alright guys, that is it. I have talked way too much. Hopefully this helped. This was in no way meant to bash Tanzania or their government. This was in no way meant to discourage you from traveling here. It's only meant to be honest, give you perspective, help you not make the same mistakes that I have made, and just keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your heart open, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.